Welcome back to another edition of Dream Team. This is the latest in the series, and today we have Steve Johnson with us to go through his best team he's played with, his favourite players, the people who had the biggest influences on him. So welcome, Steve.
Welcome, Scott. Been looking forward to this.
Nice to meet you. Good shirt, old school.
Yeah, this was a present actually from Mr. James Homewood.
Is it? Very decent.
Yeah, he loves his classic shirts. So yeah.
Nice.
He bought this
for those of you listening on the podcast, it's a Liverpool shirt from 1990-91. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. So, Steve, your first game for the club, your first adult game, when was that?
Oh, adult game. We do come to that later on with one of my selections, okay. But yeah, it was in a fourth 11. And it was against, I couldn't tell you it was against, but it was at Eastwood Park. So I'm guessing, not Eastwood Park, Belfairs. So I'm guessing it could have been Eastwood or someone like that. Yeah, me and John Horn got selected in the fourth team. And yeah, all I can remember is I got a duck, and that was it. And then it was back.
Things only got better.
Lift back to the clubhouse in Kev Salt's car, a bit of Wild Thing playing, and yeah, me and Bells back to the club, bit of tango, and one hand, one bounce. So,
how times have changed.
Yes.
Okay, let's go on. So you're 1 to 11. Your opening batsman. Who are you sending out?
Right, my opening batsman. Just before I start, my 11 is basically purely like people that have influenced me throughout my cricket career, okay. And also people that I want to spend my Saturday afternoons with. So because I've played with the likes of Nilesh Kilkarni, who's played 13 times for India. I've played with Madassar Ibrahim, and I've played with Farhad Masood, who's probably easily the best player I've ever played with when he was at Southend. So but I'm going to start with my opening batsman is going to be Afan Khan, Newman's brother, purely for the fact that he actually got me into cricket. Okay. I was at school one day, and Afan approached me in the corridor, and he said, "Look, can you play tonight? Matt Barrett's gone home sick. We need a wicketkeeper." So I said, "Oh, I don't know anything about cricket. Never played before." So he said, "Oh, it's easy." He said, "You played in goal, haven't you?" And I said, Yeah, I played in goal." He said, "You just got to stop the ball. It's fine." But little did I know that Afan at the time played for Essex, and he was sending down some absolute rockets at me. So anyway, I survived that game. He said I'd done pretty well. I played the next couple of school games, and then Afan said to me, "Why don't you come down to Southend? Come down to the Monday night youth nets." So I said, "Yeah, all right, yeah, I'll come along." He said, "You know John Horn, he'll be down there." So I went along. I don't think I actually participated in the net session. I just rode down on my bike, sat on the sidelines and watched. And I think I remember Steve Laughlin. At the time, it was Steve Laughlin and Eddie Pike were the youth team coaches. And I remember Steve Laughlin coming up to me and saying, "Afan tells me that you're a wicketkeeper. Can you play Thursday night?" I thought, I haven't even done anything yet. Like I said, yeah, I can play. So that was probably my first game. It was on a Thursday night away at Benfleet. And all I can remember from that game is that I borrowed Johnny Horn's Gray Nichols power spot. Didn't have a clue how to bat, still don't, and I just sort of left it hanging out there to dry, and it took the edge, and ball ran away to the boundary for 4, and that was it. That was the start of my cricket career, up and running. So, but Afan to me was like, obviously he got me into cricket. He was one hell of a player, and it just all ended a bit suddenly with Afan. I think I'd probably say that he probably stopped playing around when he was about 24, 25 maybe. I'm not quite sure, but he was in the first team, second team at a very young age. Yeah, him and his brother were unbelievable cricketers, and big influence really. Afan. I mean, he got me into the game. So yeah, that's my opening batsman.
It's also good to see that our selection policy of a bloke turning up to training for the first time gets picked straight away. Nothing's changed in 25 years.
Yeah. Cheers, lads.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
they had about 8 people in the net at the time, I think. So.
Okay. And who are you sending out with a farm?
Well, I've got loads of options here. I mean, I've played with I've seen some lovely opening batsmen over the time, but for me, I love watching this person bat, and he's obviously one of my best pals as well. But number 2 is Tommy Kenton. Just loved watching him bat. I mean, it was one of those ones with it was close actually with him and like Steve Laughlin. I used to love Steve Laughlin, watching him bat. When I was obviously in the youth side, Laffers got me in playing Sunday cricket, and it was one of them ones like him and Tommy are them sort of characters that when you sort of turn up to the game and it's and you're sort of getting ready and it's the game's starting, but you're scratching around in the pavilion and you're putting on your ground gear and you might have come out and sit on the deck chair, but you've missed a few overs. But when you're Tommy and Steve Laughlin, you know they're opening the batting, you get all that done quickly and you get out there and you want to watch from ball one because, well, Steve Laughlin, his thing was he wanted to smash the ball. The first ball had to go for 4. And Tommy Kenton wasn't quite similar to that, but it was entertaining. You know, you knew that it was going to be a good watch with Tommy. I just loved watching him. I always remember when I first sort of coming through the ranks, as it was, and I got picked in the sort of second team as a sort of run around fielder. I'd turn up to the game, and Tommy Kenton would be on the sidelines with his all-in-one Tottenham kit on, and I used to play with him on the sidelines with Mark Humby, and it was good. He must have only been about 12, 13 at the time, and me and John Horn used to play football with him on the sidelines. But I have got a lovely story of Tom. One of my favourite stories was in the first team, and someone had turned up that week. I don't know why, but they turned up with a Pakistan 1996 World Cup shirt stuffed in their bag, and it got brought out. And we said, anyone who does like poorly this week, we're going to be drop catch, turns up late, whatever. Throughout the season, next week they're going to have to turn up in this shirt. So anyway, that day I can't remember what happened, but Tommy might have got a duck or whatever, and he turned up next week in the Pakistan shirt. I don't know what happened in the game. We might have won, whatever, but it was a usual Saturday night in the clubhouse. He's in his shirt, had a few drinks. Let's go out, boys. Let's go out. So we've ended up in the nightclub, tots, and I've got a lovely picture of Tommy Kenton in this Pakistan 1996 World Cup shirt. It's ripped all the way from down there, barely hanging out.
No, I remember.
Dance floor smashed. Superb. Yeah, I'll if somebody will let me have the rights, I'm going to definitely post it add it onto this interview. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant
I think we
picture.
should. I remember that night. Yeah, sorely missed Tommy at the moment. Good.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so moving on. Number 3. Who's your number 3?
Number 3 is Mr. Ken Porter. I first played with Ken. I first come across Ken in the 4th team. Now he was probably coming to the end of his career, but he was in the obviously 1st team and he was in the 2nd team. But he played in the 4th team, I think, basically because it was a Shell club in Corringham, and I think it was probably close to home, and he had to get home early or whatever. But I remember it was probably one of my first real season, I think. at the club, and I always remember like him bowling, coming on to bowl, and I just thought, whoa, like, who's this fella? Like, who's this? This is quick. Like, this is quick. And yeah, I remember taking a blinder, a catch off him in the gully, and everyone was like, "Wow, that was a great catch! Well done, Johners, well done, great catch!" And he's just sort of come up to me and just gone, "Well done, boy," like like in his tone he does, like. And it was yeah, but he's in my side as well because he was a big influence on me. Really, he wasn't really my coach because, to be honest with you, I was sort of like I didn't really have a coach. I just sort of yeah, just picked it up as I went along really with cricket. But it was a big influence in the way that he's organised so much for the club, especially them cricket tours down to Devon. And yeah, and I'm very grateful for that because they were some great years we used to have down in Devon. So yeah, Ken Porter goes in at number 3 for me.
Yeah, he was someone who was always around. I remember youth coaching with Ken. Must have been 2009. Ken was never one for names, was he? He couldn't get anyone's name. It was, as you say, it's always boy. So we were running the under 13s, under 15s, can't remember which. And we had a lad called Joe Horn playing for us. So I get a message from Ken. He phones me up. You got a team for tonight? Yeah, it's all sorted, Ken, don't worry. Is John Horn playing? I was like, pretty much unlikely, Ken. He's 29 and driving a train. And you just get, you know what I mean, boy. You know what I mean. But yeah, it's John Horn playing. No, Ken.
Yeah.
But that's him in a nutshell. Okay, so number 4.
Number 4 for me is Mr. one of my good pals, Ben Waffen. That's at number 4 for me. Yet again, yeah, love watching Ben play. I think I actually probably might have stopped him actually making it as a cricketer on the basis that he was obviously playing for Essex 2s at the time, and it was me nagging him to go out on a Thursday night and go out on a Saturday when he should have really been knuckling down and making a real go of it. But I always remember him telling me stories of those Essex when he used to play for Essex 2s, getting caught behind. He bowled in the nets and got Nasser Hussain caught behind. And I remember him telling me a lovely story once about how he was batting in like a 3-day game, I think it was, and he was night watchman. And I remember him he played a flashing drive, like first ball through the covers for 4, and everyone's like, whoa, you're night watchman, like calm down, there's only like a few overs to go, like see it out. Next ball, he's just looked back and the stumps like cartwheeling out the ground, and yeah, he unbelievable talent, but he had no brain. If he had a brain, I reckon he would have made it as a cricketer. But yeah, unbelievable. I used to love watching him bat. People love watching him bowl and stuff, but yeah, for me, I love watching Waff bat. I remember playing an inter-club game once, and I bowled to him, and he just hit this ball off me, and it come right out the screws, and it literally, it was still going up over there used to be a tree by Brunswick, and it was like it cleared it, and it was going up it was massive, and I was like, Jesus, like that was a big hit, but yeah, I used to love watching Ben, but he didn't have a brain. He used to be lovely for a 20-30 and then just do a lazy little flick to square leg and then off a full toss and he'd get out. But yeah, he's had some good innings. I think he still holds the club record for 231 versus Buckhurst Hill, which I was there to see, which was pretty special. So yeah, number 4 is
can't disagree with him.
Waffen, really.
No, one of the best players I think I've played with, and could still be one of the best if he only could get fit.
Yeah, there is that.
So okay, number 5.
Number 5 is Mr. Wayne Spear. Now I picked Spears here at number Number 5, pretty much, because on the basis that I didn't have to pay a penny in and around the Southend nightclub area for the best part of 10 years. He really looked after me in those years. Yeah, getting to the front of the queues and all the drinks vouchers. So Spearsy, like, you're in for basically that reason only. No, he's a wonderful player, and someone to score that amount of runs at batting at square leg is just unbelievable. Yeah, and to be honest, Spearsy is a natural sportsman. When I was at school with him, he was like pole vault champion. He was trampoline, gymnastics, basketball, good at basketball. I've been on holidays with him, ping pong. He's like unbelievable at table tennis. I played football with him for years, good footballer. And golf as well. Golf, he's unbelievable at golf. I mean, someone who hits the ball off a tee into the next field and out of bounds and still gets away with a birdie. He's like, yeah.
Are you casting a little bit of doubt on his scoring then, John, as are we?
No, at all. But he's a good natural sportsman. But I mean, to be honest, Spearsy, when we was younger, like me and Bill was like knocking about outside the pavilion, playing one hand, one bounce, not getting involved upstairs with the big boys, we was drinking tangos and having the odd yazoo. Spearsy sort of like took me under his wing really, and and before I knew it, I was out with them on a Thursday night, Saturday night, and it was good times, and it was good times. I mean, I remember my dad. We was looking for a place to live, me and my dad, and I was in Australia at the time, me and Homewood, and remember getting in contact with my dad, and he said to me, he said, I found a place. I said, I found a place. He said, it's down Ambleside Drive. He said, I said, oh, what number? What number is it? He said, oh, it's number 32. I said, get it. I said, oh, yeah, just get it, Dad, like that. He said, you sure? You haven't even viewed it or anything yet? I said, don't worry about it, because I think Spearsy lives about 4 doors away. It'll be awesome, like, I'll just be round his house all the time. And I was round his house pretty much all the time back then, with Champions League. I was Saturday mornings round there, bacon rolls before we went out for football, and up in his bedroom, like, doing the old decks, and dropping a few in, and it was good times. I mean, I think he left me in charge once. I went with him to one of his gigs in where was it? Clacton. It was in Clacton. And he left me in charge of the decks, and it wasn't a very busy nightclub, but he'd gone off to do the old fruit machine, and he was on the balcony, and he was like, now, like that. And I remember I dropped in black box right on time, and it went off. So for me, that was awesome, like, some great times with Spearsy. Yeah,
good cricket,
true club legend as well.
Yeah, good stuff.
Mr. Cricket.
Loves it. I've been getting back playing a bit more, get him out there.
Yeah,
okay, moving on to 6.
Number 6 is your good self, Scott Elliott. Number 6. I mean, we know each other firstly through football.
Yeah.
For the days we used to play for Customs and Excise. And to be honest, I was playing football, but I think you was probably playing rugby at the time, because he was using goal and you kept on kicking the ball out of touch. I think you was probably playing rugby at the time. I don't think anything. I just remember you coming to nets on. I think it was the only time we had it at Garron's.
Was first time,
and it was a roll-out mat, and it was indoor. It was horrible. It was, and I remember you there with your grey Nichols tough coat, and you was hard to get out then. But it was. He was a tough cricketer, and in my order now, looking at it, I was thinking, if I lose a few quick wickets there, who better to have in the middle of the order just to stink it out a little bit,
Clog it up.
Clog it up a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, we've had some, me and you, we've had some great stories over the years, and I've got a few up my sleeve. But just saying about why they call you the Rat. That was what I was going to bring up. And it was, I just remember me and Bell's Johnny Ornays for we was waiting for you in a pub, and we was halfway through our beers, and we was waiting for you, and you come through the door, you went to the bar, you got yourself a pint, you come over to our table, and you just looked down and you said like, oh, is anyone going to be eating that, like that? And we said, me and Bells looked at each other and went, no, you go ahead. And you started munching on this half-eaten burger, and me and Bells looked at each other and was like, it's not even ours. It was left there from the previous person. But
sounds about right.
Brilliant. Yeah.
As you say, we've involved lots of stories over the year. I remember, I think it was at Orsett, watching the Charity Shield and sitting in a tea room with the umpires. Chelsea Man United, I think, in about 07 or 08. Watch the end of the game, ump? Yeah, fine, lads. Then went to penalties. Right, to watch the penalties? Yeah, fine. Then all of a sudden the umpire turned. Go on, we've got to get out there. Got to get ready. Time to go. I think you said to him, but you said we watched the penalties, ump. And he sort of muttered something and walked off. You went out to bat. First ball of the innings. Smack on the pads. To that umpire, straight out. Not your greatest day, I don't think.
No, that wasn't one of my greatest days. That was. I just remember him like, mate, you said that we could watch the pens, like, it was fine, and then triggered me first ball. But to be honest, that is probably twice I've been given out first ball at innings, and the other one, which you probably well know, is on cricket tour to a lovely ground called Neston. We'd had a big night out. The night before, it was hanging. We went straight to the ground, dropped our bags off. Let's go and get some food. Just down the road, there was a carvery. We got there. It was like 11:45. Opened at 12. Straight in, full free meat roast, and I just like piled me plate up. I hold the record still now. I think 16 roast potatoes. Although Tommy, I think, did go close. I think when we went back to there, but anyway, 16 roast potatoes. I was absolutely done. Got to the ground. They said, "John, as you're opening the batting." All right, yeah, lovely. First ball, gloved it through to the keeper, and I started trudging off. And the skipper came up to me and was like, they shouted out, "Come on, have another go, have another go." I was like, no, you're fine. I'm off. I'm going to go and sleep in the shed. Like,
That's it. Your cricket dignity wouldn't allow a second go.
No,
great days.
That was it. But yeah.
Also, I remember that
we've had some great stories.
Me and you. The ball on the boundary. That's the one where I got hit in the face on the boundary.
Yes.
Great times. Yeah. Okay, moving on to 7.
Number 7 is easily the best gloveman I've ever played with, and that is Dale Hackney. Yeah, definitely Dale Hackney. Like Spears said in his interview, when his name is on the team sheet, you just know it's going to be a good day with Dale in the side. And for me, when I knew his name was on the sheet, first thing I did was to drop him a little text and said, "Look, is it beers Saturday night?" And 9 times out of 10 he'd be up for it. But the occasional time when he said, "Oh no, I can't, I'm out tonight," or whatever, "I can't make Saturday beers," I'd be a little bit gutted, I'd be a bit down in the dumps. I'd be like, "God, you need that, you need Dale there, for that."
Brilliant team man, absolutely brilliant team man.
He's a brilliant team man. But Dale's superb gloveman. I've got many stories as well on Dale, but there's nothing I can share on this chat.
I was going to say, it might not be the forum for them, but certainly a bloke you'd want in your team.
Buy me a beer. Anyone wants to buy me a beer down the clubhouse, and I might be quite tempted to tell a few. But some lovely stories of Dale, and he's a good batsman as well. I mean, he's got a first team league ton batting number 10. I mean, how many people have done that before? So he's
brilliant, superb player.
He's a superb player and great to have in the side. Yeah, definitely.
Can't go wrong there.
Number 7.
Okay, and on to 8.
Number 8 is my good pal Andrew Callaway. Yeah, the old saying goes, when Callaway gets paid, everyone gets paid. And as Tommy said in his 1 to 11, it's not a night out if Cowes is not there. I was just gutted when he moved away. I was genuinely really gutted, but I was really pleased for him. But yeah, really gutted when he left away, when he went away. But yeah, some memorable times over the years with Cowes. Yeah, and there's one that sticks out in mind, the old on tour. We was all coming home one night from early hours in the morning. There was nothing open. There's no like food place open at the time. We stopped off at a 24-hour shop. We all went in there, got dirty mags and a Gibbs's pie and stuff to take back to the dorm or whatever. But we said before we went in there that we'd buy like a random buy, like the best random buy would win an award, or I can't remember what it was. And I remember Speedy coming out of a ruler. Tommy Kenton come out of some frozen Brussels sprouts. Chris Chambers come out of a tin of peas. But Cowes come out of a massive bag of coal that he couldn't hardly carry, and it was like $15.99 or something like that. It's just, yeah, he's just a legend of a man. Like, you know, he's life and soul of the party when you was with Cowes. But yeah, top man, and he gets in my side just for that reason only, because I need to be playing with these people on a Saturday.
Underrated cricketer, Cowes. Never really rated himself. And I don't mean that in an arrogant sense, but didn't appreciate how good he could be.
Yeah, 1996, 95 youth team top bowler. He was with 7 wickets. Got the height, yeah. But I like that little mention. But no,
could always back Cowes.
He was definitely underrated. He was definitely underrated. I mean, he threw it away quite easily. If he wasn't really that bothered, if he grinded it out and stuck with it. But yeah, lovely times with Cowes, and he's a good cricketer.
Yeah.
Good gloveman, but he ain't got the gloves in my side.
No, it's hard to take the gloves off Dale. Problem with Cowes is that too often, if someone said, "Oh, I can do the gloves," Cowes should have said, "No, I am the keeper," because there was very few who were better than him. But if someone else said was a bit lazy, "Oh, Cowes wouldn't mind." As a captain, it used to drive me mad, because we'd play, and Nigel Green would say, "Pick Cowes, doesn't matter if he scores a run, I just want him to keep. Don't let anyone else keep, but get the little fella to keep." And that's how good Cowes was, but I don't think he ever appreciated that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, good player. And yeah, like I said, really good person to have around and spend your Saturday afternoon with.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay, number 9.
Number 9 is, this person had a big, quite good influence on me when I was growing up, in and around the 3rd team. Was Mr. Graham Butler. I picked Butters. He's going to guarantee you 25, 30 wickets a season. And yeah, it's lovely to see now that obviously Graham's son is coming through the ranks well, and he's playing well. So I mean, for a parent as well, must be lovely for Graham to see that. And but I owe Graham quite a lot, actually. He used to run me about quite a bit, pick me up in his Volvo, give me to lifts to away games, and he got me into New Order and the Lightning seats. But there's a good story about Graham, actually. I always remember playing Wickford away, and Graham's like tying down an end. And he said to Mark Ricketts, he's going, "Mark, go on, get in there, get in close, get in there." So he's gone in at like short leg, and the first ball Graham's bowled is a full toss on the leg stump, and the geezer just clouted it, and it's hit Mark Ricketts full on in the chin. He's laid out on the wicket, claret everywhere. Thankfully, it was all right, but yeah, back then didn't have a lid on, like, you know, you're going close, you know, like, and I always remember that from Graham. Yeah, it sticks out. But yeah, great cricketer, a great servant to the club, and yeah, he gets in at number 9.
I suppose when you're picking your spinner, you could have gone for him, possibly Nigel Green as well.
Well, to be fair, I would have picked Nigel Green, but I've never forgiven him on 2 occasions. One of them was when he was captain of the second team once at Hornchurch. And Hornchurch, obviously well known for their teas. We batted first, then we went in for a tea. I've had a large helping. I've gone up for the seconds, and Nigel Green's come along, took my plate away. I was like, "What's happening? What are you doing, Nigel?" He's like, "You're not having any more lasagna." I was like, "What do you mean, like that?" He said, "You're opening the bowling. You're not having any more." I was like, oh, like, so yeah. So that yeah, cheers, Nigel. Yeah, thanks for that. But yeah, and that, and also he took me to tour. He gave me a lift back from tour once, and he dropped me off at the Fortune Awards. It's before mobile phones. And yeah, so I couldn't hardly ring my dad, and he dropped me off at the Fortune Award. And I was like, it's like 10 o'clock at night. Like, oh, yeah, cheers, Nigel. Like, I just phone my dad and tell him to get out of bed and come up to the Danny 8127 and come and pick me up. So yeah, story Nigel, unbelievable servant to the club. Probably runs bells close for most appearances, I'd probably imagine. But yeah, he just misses out to the Graham Butler.
Fair point. Okay, number 10.
Number 10 is number 10 for a reason, and that is Mr. James Homewood.
Homewood at 10. Okay.
He's number 10 because he never forgives me for this, but I was first team captain once, and someone had dropped out, and instead of getting hold of the second team captain and pulling one up, he was at university at the time in Staffordshire. And I phoned him up, and he said, I said, "Oh, look, can you do us a favour? Can you come down this weekend and play?" He said, "Oh," I said, "Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I begged him. I made him come back. He come all the way down. He played, and I batted him 10. So, and he'd never forgiven it now as well. He's like, "Oh, come all this way down, and I batted 10. Yeah, he never forgives me for that. But yeah, wonderful cricketer. We've had some lovely times over the years, like, you know, batting together. That people used to think we were brothers at you know, in stages. There was one standout moment with me and Homewood, and it was taking us up to the Ibex Premier League. I can't really remember the year, but it was a Sunday cricket. Sunday cricket, and it was, I can't remember the situation. I don't know whether we needed to win or we needed to just we need to stop Trinity from winning to go up to the Prem, to the Ibex. And I always remember it was me and Homewood, and we was like sort of 8 and 9 at the time, or maybe even 9 and 10. I can't remember. It was getting really dark, and we was batting and holding on and holding on and holding on. And at the other end, you had Chris Hunt, who played for Trinity, and he was steaming in, and he was trying to knock our heads off. And we was there as must have been, or Homewood probably must have been about maybe 15 at the time. I was obviously a little bit older, 19, 18. And we toughed it out, and yeah, we did it. It was like Nasser Hussain and Graham Thorpe in Karachi, you know, like batting in the dark, and it was good. It was good times, and we did it. It was, you know, we went up to the Ibex Prem. He was 10 not out, and I was probably about 8 not out, and it was all because of us. There was nothing to do with Newman, who scored a ton earlier on in the innings. You know, it was just us that got us up. So
Newman didn't do the job.
That was our big moment.
Yeah. Great stuff. And your 11, number 11, last man.
Number 11, can't bat for toffee, but
you'll disagree with that.
What a bowler! What a bowler! He's unbelievable. Yeah, John Horn, my good mate John Horn. Yeah, we was back in the day, like me and John Horn were joined at the hip. You know, when I first joined the club, we was there. We were down. We used to live in that clubhouse. We used to, you know, youth nets. We used to wait afterwards because back then it was obviously no communication with the internet and nothing like that, text or anything. So you used to get selection through the post, but we couldn't wait until Wednesday or Thursday when selection come out to know what side we were in. So we used to obviously have youth nets, stayed in the clubhouse until sort of 10 o'clock in the changing rooms down below, and wait for selection to finish and someone to come down and hand us our selection. And oh, have we made it? Have we made it? Are we in the fours? Are we in the fours? 9 times out of 10, we were just scraped in the fours, or one of us might have been 13th or 14th man, you know. But yeah, they was great times they were. I mean, we used to put the net up. We used to go around and knock on Eddie Pike's house and get the keys, open up the clubhouse, get the net out in February, and bowl at each other all day long. And yeah, great times. Great times with me and Bells. I mean, we used to do the scoreboard for Essex. It wasn't obviously the main scoreboard, but it was opposite. They just run a little side scoreboard, and we just I don't know. To this day, I do not know how we got that gig, because nowadays that wouldn't be allowed. Like 2 kids off school, like just bunking off school and just running a scoreboard, like that just wouldn't happen. But and we got paid for it as well. I think we got like £100 to sit there off school to watch cricket all day and just flick a few numbers up. Heaven. It was like, yeah, it was a dream. It was superb. Yeah. So yeah, Johnny Horn bats at number 11. And going back to that first game that I ever played, I'm guessing it was the first game I ever played at Belfast Park, probably maybe against Eastwood in the fours. I was so jealous of it. I was so jealous of him because he got 18, and he got 18 runs, and like basically back then we didn't really bat or bowl. We just like fielded and like and for him to score 18, I got a duck off that day, I think. And to be honest with you, them days I was every week I was getting a duck, you know. And Bells, he got 18 that day, and I was so jealous of it.
Yeah. That's not bad. That's a very, very decent 11 you picked there. Say, anyone else could have made the cut?
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of players. You got Craig Porter. I'd like to put Craig Porter in there. He gave me my first break, really, in the first team. I always remember it. I played in the first team a few times under Steve Waffen, just as a fielder, basically, you know, like gimp, and specialist fine leg. And Craig, really, I was doing it for Craig as well, but I was also bowling quite well in the second team, maybe in the third team. And I always remember it. It was my first game, first chance for the ball. We played Ardley Green, and we batted first, and we must have got a huge score because then it was the time where you could declare early, but then you got the old ball. Yeah, you should be able to take the old ball. So we did that. We had tea, and then he come up to me at tea. He said, "Look, I'm gonna take the old ball. You're opening." I was like, "Oh, like, you know, I'm opening in the first team." And I bowled 10 overs, and I remember just hitting one on the pads, and I didn't even appeal, and everyone all went up. Dave Wilkins behind the stumps gone up, and the old finger went up, and that was my first ever first team wicket. So that was me up and running in the first team. So Craig Porter, big influence for me. He gave me my big break really on cricket tour, because I used to obviously be a wicket keeper when I first started out, and it was on tour against Budley Sauterton where I didn't keep wicket, and he said, "Oh, do you want to have a bowl?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll have a little bowl, I'll have a little go." And then the boys were like, "This is all right." John, you've got a little something there. I reckon you should work on that.
With.
And I took that, and then I donned the gloves, and that was me done. I was a bowler ever since then. So yeah, Craig Porter for me. Could have made it. You've got Ian Iser.
Yeah, great.
He made Tommy. He's in Iser's opening batsman slot, but for me, Ian Iser, yeah, big influence for me. I bowled a lot of overs over with Ian in charge. He used to always come on first change, and at the time we had a player called Mike Clark. He was a wonderful cricketer, very good bat, and we had a few seasons with Mike Clark. He never really bowled him in. He always brought me on first change. I think Mike Clark got the He left and went and played for Ardley Green in the Prem and got 40 wickets that season. So I think Ian might have mixed the trick there, but cheers, Ian.
Yeah,
thanks for that. But I loved Ian. Yeah, good captain. But he just disappointed me after the game as well when I wanted him to stay and have a few the old Bacardi and Cokes, and he didn't. You know, he was just a Diet Coke and off for the old off home. But yeah, wonderful cricketer. But yeah, to be honest with you, there's a load of names.
Yeah, you could spend another hour talking about people who could have made it. So no, that's been great. Well, thank you, Steve. That's a great team you've got there. I think it's going to be a good fun in the bar afterwards as well.
Well, that's basically why I picked the side. Yeah, pretty much. And I have got my clubhouse top 5, or probably top 6 actually. Top 6 people I'd love to have. I wanted my to have a beer with after the game. And
okay,
number one,
quickly.
Without shadow of a doubt, it's Callaway. Number 1, Dale. Number 2. Number 3 is Gavin Lee, just for the pure fact that back in the day, I used to love drinking the old Eagle Smooth with Gav. Number 4, without question, Dave Enderby. Yeah, like Speedy said, wouldn't really play cricket with him, but what a man to have in the bar after the game. Yeah. Absolute legend. Me and Dave have got this secret handshake, actually. It's quite funny, but we can't really do it at this moment in time due to COVID and all that, with him spraying it all over me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we sort of like have a little shake and then we bring it right in, you know. But yeah, it's quite weird. That. But we've done it once and then we do it every time we see each other. It's like quite bizarre. And yeah, my old mate Johnny Orne has got to be up there as well. And I missed him off the list, but Steve O. Richardson, what a great times they were when he used to run the old bar. I used to love Bully behind the bar, and yeah, he organised some lovely tours as well to Chester.
Good times.
Superb. So yeah, no, Scotty, I've thoroughly enjoyed this. And
thank you very much, Steve. No, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much for your time. We'll speak soon. Much appreciated.